Hello everyone, Dan14th Prime here. Want to do a video share out today with you guys on the Takara Transformers Masterpiece MP-44. This is Convoy version 3.0, aka Optimus Prime as known here in the West. Highly anticipated figure, his reputation preceding him with the price of this guy, and all the build up to his release now. I will say I picked mine up off Amazon Japan, which cost me about $330 shipped to my door. So I'm not disappointed with that, and he comes with this big pack out that you see here in front of you. We knew this guy was going to come with a lot of stuff, but I gotta say, in hand and even playing around with it a bit, it's a lot of accessories, a ton of features. Each of these things has some playability and gimmicks of their own, so you start to understand why it costs so much. Now, because there's so much to this figure, I'm going to start this video with an overview of the pack out here and the accessories. I'm going to do separate videos on transformation, the formal review, etc. I just want to break this down into bite-sized pieces. So for a quick overview of the pack out here before we get these things out and take a look at them closer and start to play around with them, you get a couple extra head sculpts here just for the different cartoon looks he had through the various seasons. You get a battle damage head sculpt from the 1986 movie. You get a Starscream head sculpt from the movie where Starscream was disguised as Optimus Prime. You get 3 minifigures, Spike, Sparkplug, and Carly. I will say my first reaction to them was like, but believe me, they will grow on you and you will be impressed by some of the gimmicks they have. Of course, you get the Matrix of Leadership, the Starscream shoulder air intakes for when you use that head sculpt, his Energon axe, some gun or beam accessories as they're called. Of course, Optimus and his trailer. You get Trusty Roller there, his blaster rifle. You get the energy supply pipe, the whole hose gimmick that we remember from the G1 toy, his rocket booster or jetpack, a battle damage waist piece, an adapter where you can turn this into a stand, and this is called the Special Anti-Aircraft Gun. So quite a bit there, and in this video we're just going to go through each of these in a little bit of detail and show you how they can work together in a playable set. So first off here, let's start off with the number one accessory, the container as it's called, or the trailer. Beautiful looking. Again, I'm not going to do deep review in this video. It's to show you all the accessories and the gimmicks. Cool little spare tire underneath there, but it's got the traditional hook there, slot and pivoting mechanism, and the trailer hitch right there in the back. So that's going to slot in as we'd expect and know. And of course that's going to roll nice and neat for us. Pivot up there at the trailer hitch. If we come around to the back, they maintain the gimmick of, opening the doors here. And I'll get you even a more straight on view of that. And of course, pulling down the ramp. And this ramp is really cool, much improved, I think. Just look at the length of the ramp, the angle. It's much longer and not as steep as we had with MP-10. And of course, if you have your roller here, or any car, they'll be able to get up in there. Next up here, we've got roller, and we'll come back to the trailer when we start to integrate a lot of these pieces. But the gray look here, just plastic wheels, it rolls. Very G1-esque looking. A little car accessory. You can flip up the hood there. He's got a bit of some engine workings inside of there that you can see. If I get you a nice close-up of that there. So various gimmicks with roller here. Of course, you could grab the little figurines. They do have magnets in their feet, which I'll get into, so you need to kind of get their arms up to hold them back. And they can be facing either direction, whether they're in the front or the back. You can flip out the back section here. Just flip that around like so, which is going to reveal a few ports, and you can grab his blaster. Big, beautiful gun here, much bigger than the MP-10 version. And that can plug in. We need to flip the handle down here like this, and it could plug in really any of these ports. I've got them on the ends, so I'll have to go center here probably. I'm sure you all remember this look from the G1 toy. You can also grab the energy supply pipe. We remember this from the G1 toy, the hose, one of the more lost pieces. Some of these pieces here with a nice plastic hose and the little pump. This hose is a bit unwieldy for mine, still kind of wrapped up, but you can plug that in one side, plug that in another. And again, over time, this hose will probably look prettier. You stretched it out, got it laid right. But you can have this look of playability with the pump and the hose right there plugged into the back of roller. And these can also be attached. Just a little peg here and just a little upper slot. So you can kind of sit those into each other and just plug off of the main one here as well. Different look, not a big deal, but again, just lots of different ways you can gimmick around with the many accessories in this set. And maybe just quickly while I have the blaster out here, it does fold in half. Storage gimmick similar to MP-10. And you'll want the handle flipped back like how I just had it for roller. And you'll find a little lever here. It's a little centerpiece attachment. You give that a little pull up, you find a little slot mechanism. And there's a slot right there on the gun. So you can kind of slot that in across like that and store your weapon on the back of the truck. Just a place to put it. Not as good and well hidden as MP-10, but you will find the trailer when I show you here has some impressive storage gimmick capability for all this other stuff you get. So up next here, let's take a look at the what we generally know as the repair bay, or it's being called the special anti-aircraft gun, I believe in the instructions. But pretty cool. Again, some plastic wheels down there, rolls just fine. Kind of a nice chunky piece, very much upsized. This accessory from the MP-10 model. This is a pretty good chunky repair bay piece here. So you can disconnect the bay piece. Little piece here in the back you can kind of flip down, which is then going to enable you to just slide off. Separate the two pieces. If we set that to the side, we'll bring our star roller back out here, star of the show. On this repair bay piece, there's a little peg you can flip down there, and you know that's just going to go on top of here. We need to get rid of our little guys here. Like I just lost an arm. But we'll peg this in just like that in the middle slot. And then with this setup here, of course, you could, flip up your radar. You can flip out your arm if you like. And yes, the claw can open. And then on the side here, there's you'll find a little lever, black lever. You can pull out the big gun attachments. I thought this is pretty cool, putting these two together. Again, a lot you can do with this bay in the trailer. And let me just show you here. Of course, this is going to open up. Check that out. Just some gray plastic seating in there, a bit of molding. Of course, the minifigure will drop in there as well. They show through pretty well that blue translucent plastic. If we just put the bay back together, kind of flip in your peg, slot him back down like that, and flip your little lock mechanism. We'll have that back together, and then you can stand up the whole thing. Really give us that repair bay sort of look. So I've got this a bit away from me to get him all in frame, but one call out, there's a little locking mechanism here. You just push it up. Again, there's grooves here for this thing, so if you want to lock that in a particular position, you can use that to do so. The instructions seem to go on and on about just all different types of configurations. You can, have the arms and everything in. I mean, you can play with it and do what you like. We'll just demonstrate a bit of the articulation here. This thing will flip all the way back around, actually, and twist, and you can even kind of park it behind the guy like that. So quite a bit of articulation through the arm. If you come underneath of it, if you push here, you will just want to flip out. Yeah, just flip that completely out. Little trailer hitch there. Got a little swivel there. And again, if we bring in our star of the show roller, there's a hitch there, so you can lock that on. You can tow this. So you can lock that like that. And again, however you'd like to position this. The first thing they show you in instructions is more like this sort of look here, but whatever. Again, you can do what you like. And roller can pull that around. And again, you could stand it up, put the guns in, your call. So if we come back to his trailer or the container, I'm going to use this as more of a combat deck. Of course, we know he's still got the arms under here, which can flip out. They're much smaller, which I like. A little lighter, easier to manage than the MP-10 arms. You can set that there. Let's actually just open this thing entirely up. So you'll also recall the blue arms swiveling out. Pretty typical, right? Open the doors, split the trailer. Those will rest there. Again, you can pull out the ramp, put these pieces down here, and just open the thing up overall. One cool thing to show you that has these little guys growing on me. Again, they're just missing a face. If they had a face, they'd be really cool, but they've got little magnets in the feet, which I think I mentioned, which make them a bit of a pain to sit and roller, but there's these areas you'll find on the trailer, or it works just as well on your refrigerator, where they'll just lock down and adhere, stand to these magnetized areas. There's a few other areas that I'll show you as we go, but I thought that was pretty cool. Right there as well, and there's some hidden ones we'll see later when we go into repair bay mode. So if we then grab our repair bay / anti-aircraft weapon or whatever, and we want to flatten them out and make them part of the trailer. So these pieces just fold in, and maybe I should have done first, but then these black pieces fold down. So you get some grooves there, a bit dark. And you'll notice some grooves right there in the back of the trailer. And that's just going to kind of slot in and give it a little push forward, as you'd expect. And it just locks in place back there. So again, if you grab a minifig, get them in a seated position, you'll see some seats here. They can sit there. They could sit over here as well. Again, you can stand up the repair bay here. You know, position this however you'd like in terms of the arms and all that fun stuff. You can again grab roller. He's got these little prongs on the end, and those will plug into the repair bay area like that. So he basically locks and loads securely in there. If you want to stow it all like this in the trailer, you know, it's not going to jiggle around. You can bring down the repair bay to be more over the top of roller like this. So again, that among many different ways you could then use the arm and, you know, just position all of this however you would like. Try to get the rotation going the right way. There you go. So trying to set this back again, just to show you there are a couple different ways you can, of course, poke the repair bay out of the trailer. So you'll see some sorted, couple different areas where there's little flaps here. So we'll pull those in. And we'll just get the repair bay kind of positioned like this. Kind of spin it around. We'll just see how that'll fit together. And get your ramp up if you like. But we just want to kind of close this up so the head peeks out. There you go. So you could have that like that. And again, you could fold in all of these arms and things and have Optimus cruising along with the repair bay sticking out of the trailer like this. Or again, the anti-aircraft missile. Maybe you want to be more like this mode. Because if you grabbed Optimus, you kind of fold all this stuff back in. And now you've sort of weaponized the trailer. Another thing you can do is, again, get Optimus out to the side. Pop the trailer back open. And just get this thing sticking pretty far out. Get roller out of here. Again, put these ceiling flaps back up. And then you'll find some flaps here in the front. Fold those out. And again, you can just close it up like this. So you'll have it sticking out of the front like that now. And you can grab roller again, and he will come into play here again with the hitch. He'll sit right in the middle. So you can have a setup something like this where he's kind of, you know, sticking far out there, and roller's got him, though really kind of gets him up on a wheelie. Or even if you wanted to get this tighter in, this whole system, we'll pop that off. Look, I just cut my guy in half. Lots of ball joints here. And just spin this around totally. Put it in this way. And push it flat like this. And spin that around, close it back up. And you can get them a little tighter and flatter to roller. Get more of that look. So the instructions go through 101 different ways you can kind of pose all this stuff. I mean, do whatever you want, but that gives you some sense of all the different ways you can move and place and articulate and pose and configure the trailer, roller, and the anti-aircraft gun, aka the repair bay. Now, to more officially get this into the repair bay mode, I've flipped him back around. Of course, we know we want to stick him out top and just stand up the trailer. And the instructions more have this like this, actually. So not all the way up, more like that. Thought this was pretty cool. These blue seat areas can now flip down and become platforms. Also magnetized for your minifigs. Again, you know, whatever. That can come out. The arm can come down. You can take the hose, you can plug that in over here. The gun here can plug just below it, flip the handle back. And again, I just think this is so cool. You know, the minifigs with their magnetic feet, but ball jointy little joints. But they get some traction up here. But I thought that's all pretty cool. The home stretch here with the trailer, if you grab his jetpack and you just fold this piece down and flip over this peg, the jetpack will peg up here on the roof. And here you can also use, you know, these rocket effects, blast effects, they kind of serve multiple purpose. But you can set those up on there like that for the super fast trailer effect. If I didn't mention as well, of course, you can close up the repair bay in the trailer there. You kind of got to use the arm flat down the other way, but it works. And I think here about finally the last thing with the trailer. Underneath here, there's very cool storage. Just the whole thing just slides right out. See? Nice big compartment there. You can't store everything in here, but you could keep your two Optimus heads that you'd want to have handy. You can drop in the battle damaged waist piece, little peg right there for that. Your little blaster accessories will peg in to the corners on a diagonal. And then the axe here just seems to kind of lay in here like this. So it's a decent amount of this stuff. Give it the official test here. There we go. So yeah, you can store quite a bit of your key accessories you'd want right there in the bottom of the trailer. Let me come back to the minifigs here. And you know, one gimmick, of course, with the truck is that the doors, just the doors, can open. Again, these guys have knees, and we'll take a look. They're definitely very fragile, ball jointy. Get them in position, and they can store in there. You know, sit in there, but not much of an interior. But, you know, a place to put them at least. Same thing on the other side. Both sides work with, again, just like a door. I think that's pretty cool. And we'll put Carly in there, shotgun. So there you go. You know, and you see them in there. Not really so much from the front. The windows are so blue and just opaque, but you see them a bit from the side. But again, cool gimmick, place to put them. Finally here, before we go into bot mode, I'll just touch on the minifigs again. Sparkplug, Spike, Carly. I didn't think much of them at first. It's not typically a thing I'd care too much for, but I am impressed with how well integrated they are to what's really almost like a playset here with Optimus. He works in the cab. They've got a lot of playability in the trailer, you know, in roller, in the repair bay. So they make them fit everywhere. I will say the paint is good. Like, all the lines are super clean. Boots, jeans, shirt and jacket, hard hat, belt, really clean. They just don't have a face. Carly looks really good. I mean, look at the white accents across like the belt and then the chest, the two tones of blue, the green socks. Really impressed with how well painted they are. Again, magnets in the feet, which is really cool. It's fantastic. It's not easy to have them just standing there like how I have them. Very ball jointy. So really just ball joint in the shoulder, ball joint in the hips. They got a knee bend, ball joint at the waist, and maybe a little bit of head articulation. But that's about it. But what do you expect for something that's literally like 1.5 inches tall? Okay, let's switch gears now to the accessories and gimmicks in bot mode. Again, I will have a separate transformation or how to transform MP-44 video coming as a separate bite-sized clip. But let's start off here in bot mode. I think one of the main gimmicks is the voice clips. So you have back here, this backpack is a battery pack. It takes 3 LR44s. Pretty straightforward with the instructions on how to put those in. On-off switches here on the right. You can hear that probably, but no noise made when it's turned on and off. And on the other side, you have the voice-activated button. And there's actually 6 cycles of these sound effects. But what you need to do is press and hold the button to cycle through the effects there. And you'll hear the transformation sound each time. I believe we're on 3 now. 4. Pick up the pace here. 5. Again, just giving you a sense for it. But the main one here for us in the West is number 6.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Where we get the Peter Cullen voice clips. Super stoked when I found that out.
I am Optimus Prime.
Which was really just a few days ago when I started to see the reviews in the East.
Transform and roll out.
I believe the first time we're getting English voice clips. Not many master figures have had voice clips, but it's always been Japanese to my recollection.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Autobots, transform and roll out. I am Optimus Prime.
So we just get a few, as you can see there, the whatever that was, 3, 4, or 5, versus the many Japanese clips. But hey, take what we can get. So that was a pleasant surprise. So next up here, we can get back to, again, the gun and just look at the size of that thing. Much bigger than MP-10. They're very recognizable shape and style, though. And it's just going to go into the hand in a, I think, a pretty predictable way. He's got like bottom 3 fingers, top index, and I need to get his handle down here. But again, you've got the peg there, peg in the palm. That's a nice firm peg. And he's got the trigger finger, but really nowhere special to put it in terms of there being a trigger. We'll just wrap the fingers up. So you can check him out holding the big blaster rifle. It looks very good. And again, the fire effect, blast effect, which you saw a bit previously, just the translucent orange. You can fit that in there as well. I mean, I dig that. I know it's kind of, it kind of looks kind of corny. It's just like this very smooth, translucent orange piece, but a great cartoon effect, I think. So it fits with the deco, fits with the piece. I actually like it quite a bit. It reminds me of what we got with Beast Wars Megatron, actually. Something, that type of effect. So very cool. Also around the back of the figure, if you took the gun, flip the handle back, you'll notice a couple pegs on like the ammo clip portion. And a couple pegs here in the side of the backpack. So you can make the connection like this. So again, just a storage option. Don't know that I would ever use that, but they try to integrate all the playability they can with this toy. I mean, it's not just, they weren't just thinking display and aesthetics. I mean, this thing, so many gimmicks, so much playability, so many things integrated. Just part of what makes the design so brilliant, and also what makes it so expensive. One other way you can continue to store this in bop mode. If you remember that alt mode little trick I showed you, that still exists here. You can kind of flip out that little piece from like the butt flap area. And again, you could take the gun, fold it up. Right there's your groove. And again, just an option, right? Not great, but playability. You can kind of just stow it on the back of the figure. Again, not as sleek as MP10 in the shoulder pack here, but all this, all this is batteries right down here in the bottom. So it does serve a functional purpose, this backpack. Next up here, we have the Energon X. Simplified, again, smooth, simple, translucent orange, tune accurate. Smaller and just overall, less bulky than what we had with MP10. And if you take the right hand here, just gonna unplug. There we go. It's like a little latch mechanism that just kind of hooks on. And on the X here, kind of hard to see because it's all orange, but you notice a little grooved area there with the tab. So that's gonna just tab into your little hook thing. Doesn't seem to be a super strong peg, but then you can kind of, that's a little better. It's not the strongest peg, but it'll articulate up there like that. You can twist it this way, which would probably be more the natural way you'd like to have it. Let's get his arm situated here. There we go. So that can twist like so, and then this piece can come up. And it doesn't seem to go down. So maybe I don't have that perfect, but it's not getting a really firm snap on the wrist, but it'll stay there. But when you handle it, kind of knocks it loose. But I dig that. I think that looks pretty cool. Eye tune accuracy. I do like this translucent orange they're using. I think it looks cool. So next up here we have the Matrix. It looks familiar to MP10. It's kind of die cast, got some weight to it. Very much a movie deco to it, I would say. Painted in the center, so not translucent in there, so you're just getting the solid blue plastic, painted in there. Nice gold kind of matrix chamber. So we put this in, and we can of course open up the chest. Swing open the doors there. Get the little chamber, which is going to lift up like that. And then you can take the matrix here, as well as a bit of extra light. And that'll just, of course, plug right in there, nice and snug. So there we've got that look. And again, you could close all that up. Sorry I'm really blasting the light, but trying to get you the inside look of that matrix chamber. Everything seals up there nice and flush, so you can just stow it in there. Next up here is the other head. I'll try to just set those up there. Again, one is basically like the round head season 1, and then you get the more, what was the rest of the seasons, and as well as the movie kind of more boxier head. Maybe this might get you a better side-by-side comparison that way. Again, I like them both. In TE01 Op Leader, if you get the second issue, you get both types of heads as well. It's a good figure in and of itself, and I'll do a comparison versus MP-44 in a separate video. But the heads basically just pull straight out. See how the back is more or less open? There's like a little peg there, so you just sort of push it back onto this neck piece here. And I will say the heads look good. They're, super clean. Nice blue painted eyes. Again, the dark blue helmet, gray mask, forehead accent. The antenna are a little wild, a little out of control. There's some bending. They feathered them just so thin up towards the top. Definitely a bit of warping and bending going on. It's worse on the round head, I'm noticing. Not sure if any boiling water trick or heat or something might just help to fix that. But I do notice that particularly on the round one. But there you've got the round head. Doesn't look as good. Yeah, almost looks kind of smallish on the body actually. And again, well, there's profile there for you. back of the head. And again, just pull straight off. Show you the main head again. Looks much, much better now that I see them both on the figure. I'll definitely stick with that look. And then similar to MP-36 Megatron, we do get some battle damage effect. So you get the movie head, which we were just had on, with the battle damage. Was being a little stubborn there. So there you have the battle damage look. I think that looks very, very good. The face mask all smashed up. The antenna rightfully all mangled and gnarly looking on this head. And you also get, which I think was like similar to Magic Square, I believe, a battle damaged accent waist piece. My bad, I was trying to take that piece off. It just comes right over the top. So it looks like this. The Magic Square, you had to swap it out, so I was confusing myself. But this piece, it's just going to peg right over the top. And that looks pretty good. Much better than Magic Square. You know, nice big gash there. You can see some of the insides detailed out as well. So yeah, I'm digging that. You can have both him and MP-36 all worn out from that classic movie scene. For the next head sculpt here, we have the Starscream. I think this is just fantastic. Above and beyond the Call of Duty, this head sculpt of Starscream is off the charts nice. Like if they reissue a Starscream, if he's got a head sculpt like that, yeah, that'll be some next level stuff. But same mechanism. So we just slide that back like so. And then he also comes with Starscream's, air intake vents. So to put those on, you come around back here, and we just gotta get the backpack off the neck area. There we go. And we'll slide that attachment, I believe, right over that same peg. Like that, and then just put it right back in place. Doesn't seem like it quite clips back as snug as it was, so it sort of floats there a bit. Lost our focus there for a sec, but so there's a good look at that. So something like that's the famous pose there, where Starscream's like taking off the Optimus mask. What a great callback to that episode. And then last up here is the rocket booster. Again, just nice red finish, simple, some light gray. The rocket ends, some vent effect there. Even some detailing on the inside, kind of nice. Didn't seem they really need to do that. Just has a hook mechanism up here. And that's really just going to latch right there by that chrome piece, right over top of the backpack. So that'll sit like this. And again, the blast accessories, which had made an appearance a few times in this video by now, can of course plug right into the bottom of that. And you can get that flying look right there. Again, I think that looks pretty cool. I do dig the rocket effects, the blaster effects. Simple thing, but I think it adds some nice playability to the set. Glad they've been doing that. Hope they do more of that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And last up here, final accessory, which will be cut a bit short, but you get just this stand holder, right? And it just slides. You get some grooves here in his back of his butt or whatever, and it just slides on like that. And again, this can be used with the MP-41 Dinobot stand. I think Takara is going to need to reissue that stand as a separate standalone accessory because they're more and more referring to it. I believe Beast Wars Megatron, they said, hey, you can use that stand. Now we've got MP-44. And of course, you got Dinobot. So at least those three that Takara is accessorizing their releases to utilize that stand. But you got one of those stands with Dinobots. So they really need to issue that separately so we can get more of those stands. So there you have it, everyone. MP-44 Convoy, Masterpiece Optimus Prime, all the gimmicks, all the accessories, and gives you a sense for the playability in various modes, conventions, etc. that you can put together with all of these accessories. Everything you see in front of you and more. Some stuff in the trailer. The Matrix still in Prime's chest. So again, an impressive pack out. This is why it's the price that it is. Again, I don't believe in that US e-tail $450 price. But there are plenty of opportunities to get this overseas directly, much cheaper. Again, I did through Amazon Japan for about $330. And again, never mind the impressive engineering and aesthetics of the figure, which we'll get into in the review, but just all of these gimmicks and accessories. You start to understand why it's so much more expensive than any other Masterpiece figure to date. But I really like it, and I can see myself definitely have some of these things out handy to swap around and pose up Optimus in different looks when he's on display. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. Again, more videos will be coming, a separate transformation video, a separate review, as well as comparisons to Magic Square and TE01 Op Leader. If you liked the video, please hit a like or drop a comment on your way out. Appreciate it very much. Helps the video and channel out quite a bit. If you're not following me on Instagram, same handle, Dan14th Prime, you might want to check it out. It's usually where I put the unboxings, first impressions, first looks at anything you see here on the channel go up on Instagram before the videos come out on YouTube. So check that out, and if you love Transformers, please check my Amazon link down in the description below. Any shopping you do through those links supports the channel, no cost to you, and I do very much appreciate that. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this Gimmicks and Accessories video for MP-44. I'll see you next time.